Rob Ford wins his appeal and stays in the mayor's chair.
And common law couples in Quebec are denied the same rights as married couples. Humber News starts now.
Hello, it's Friday, January 25th. Welcome to Humber News, coming to you from the Broadcast Center of the North Campus. I'm Katie Boyven. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Daniel Bazzelli. Ahead on our show, we have all your news and sports highlights, as well as your 5-day weather forecast. But first, our top story.
The news all of Toronto has been waiting for has finally been announced. Mayor Rob Ford will keep his job. The Ontario Superior Court of Justice overturned a ruling that would remove Ford from office late last year for breaking conflict of interest laws. Our reporter Stephen Donkers was at City Hall.
It's a good day to be Mayor Rob Ford. This morning at 9:30, the three-judge divisional court ruled that the mayor can keep his job.
I'd like to begin by saying this has been a very, very humbling experience.
Last November, an Ontario judge ruled that Ford should be removed from office for breaking conflict of interest laws. But today, the ruling from the divisional court said the matter to be voted upon by the council must have the potential to affect the pecuniary interests of the municipal councillor. In other words, was there a financial benefit for Ford? No, there was not. And the ruling also said there was no transparency concern with respect to Mr. Ford's interests that day. The three judges said that Ford has previously complied with conflicts of interest laws. However, they also noted it is important in the present case not to lose sight of the nature of Mr. Ford's error in judgment. His understanding of the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act was not correct. Outside City Hall, public reaction was mixed.
Frankly, I'm shocked. I think the punishment should fit the crime. If he did something illegal, he should be taken out of office.
Oh, it's too bad that his personal stuff got in the way of everything else, but I'm happy he kept the job.
Councillor Joe Mihavoc says with the decision made, council needs to refocus on city issues.
We just need to kind of move on from this and try to keep council together. The mayor's still in his chair.
But before the decision was announced, Deputy Mayor Doug Holliday said people with other political agendas were behind the push to remove Ford from office.
It comes from a lot of places, and there's a lot of people who just aren't happy with the situation that the agenda has changed here.
With Mayor Ford still in office, he and council will now tackle a variety of issues later this year, including transit funding, a new possible casino for downtown, and ways to fix the Gardiner. Reporting from City Hall, Stephen Donkers, Humber News.
Clayton Ruby, the lawyer who spearheaded the case against Ford, said in a statement earlier today that he plans to ask the Supreme Court to hear an appeal into the case. And next week, an audit of the mayor's campaign finances is to be released. If it is found that the mayor violated the Municipal Elections Act, then Ford could be facing a slew of potential penalties.
The Ontario Liberals are set to pick a new leader this weekend. It's the party's first leadership convention since Dalton McGuinty was elected more than 15 years ago. Sandra Pupatello and Kathleen Wynne are currently leading the race. More than half the delegates coming into the convention have already pledged to support either Wynne or Pupatello in the first ballot. 420 votes from delegates not pledged to a specific candidate are expected to be cast today. Currently, Pupatello holds 27% of the elected delegates' vote. Wynne holds 25%. Gerard Kennedy takes the third spot with 14%, with Harinder Thakkar barely behind at 13%. Charles Souza and Eric Hoskins trail the pack at 11% and 6%, respectively.
The Supreme Court of Canada has ruled that common law couples in Quebec are not entitled to the same spousal rights as married couples. Quebec is the only province that does not recognize common law relationships as de facto marriages. By a 5-3 margin, the top court says the province's civil code is constitutional and does not discriminate against the rights of unmarried couples. Under Quebec law, unmarried couples have no financial obligations to one another once the union has ended. Nearly 32% of couples in Quebec are common law, giving the province one of the largest proportions of unmarried couples in the world.
Police investigating the shooting death of 9-year-old Keyshawn Williams say his Brampton home was deliberately targeted. Keyshawn died yesterday morning from a bullet wound to his head, hours after being rushed to Sick Kids Hospital. Police say a previous tenant may have been the intended target since Keyshawn and his family moved in only a week ago. Police have not yet announced any suspects.
Last chance to have your say on plans for a downtown casino. Public consultations being held by the City of Toronto end today. The controversial plans could see a massive new development in the city's core. Proponents of the plan say it will create jobs and inject money into Toronto. Opponents say it would add too much pressure to already stretched services and infrastructure.
When we come back, we'll have more news from around the country and the world. Mark Mullen will have your sports update, and we'll have your weather forecast with Laura Booth.
Today we've finally got a little bit of relief from the cold, and it's only going to get warmer. I'll have your weather forecast after the break.